When we think of vaccine hesitancy, there's a wide range of people who are in that category. And I think the most important thing for us as physicians to do is to remember that everyone is trying to make the right decision. But people are bombarded right now with information, some of it very valid, but some of it very credible misinformation, which leaves people uncertain. If you have someone who's sitting talking to you who is absolutely convinced in their mind that they under no circumstance would be vaccinated, and there is no way that they would ever trust anything that you say, you really don't have much of a chance of being able to convince that person, at least not in that visit. But the only thing you can say is thank them for at least letting you have the conversation, and hope that they'll be open to talking more about this, because trust is built over time, and no one's going to take your word for something if they don't know you or trust you. All you can do is hope that you build up that trust, and eventually you can have a dialogue where they're prepared to listen to what you say, and maybe the next step after that is to actually make a change based on what you've said. Yes, certainly in practice you run into that situation where someone is hesitant and is not inclined to do so, but if they'll give you the time to explain things, and if you don't rush their decision, but give them time to ask their questions and provide answers, and then allow them time to reflect on your answers, I think that helps. If you already have a relationship of trust with that patient, then the evidence is very clear. The single most important thing you can say is a very confident statement saying, I truly believe that this is in your best interest. We've discussed the benefits, we've discussed the risks. In my experience, and thinking of your best interests, I truly believe this is the right decision for you. Women carrying a baby are so concerned that they make every decision the right decision as to what they expose themselves and their babies to. And they will typically want to avoid taking medications unless it's absolutely necessary. So when we say, but we want you to have this vaccine, there's a natural hesitancy. Why? Is this really safe? There's a couple of different vaccines that are really important to highlight. One of them is the flu vaccine and influenza, because influenza is pretty common. But if you look at who runs into real difficulty with flu, pregnant women are at much greater risk. Our immune systems are a bit suppressed when we're pregnant, so that could be part of it. But physically, we've got a big pregnant abdomen which is compressing our lungs, so we have much less tolerance. It's really important for women who are pregnant to be vaccinated against flu, and it is 100% safe. The other vaccine that we recommend for pregnant women is for pertussis, the Tdap vaccine. And this one is a little bit more of an interesting story. We aren't asking women to be vaccinated against pertussis, whooping cough, because we think they're going to get whooping cough. I mean, it does go around from time to time, but most adults have been immunized against it. But what we've learned is that pertussis is out there in the community, and if you get that as a tiny infant, you're at very real risk because you have very tiny little airways. If you get pertussis as an older child, you can be sick with whooping cough, but the chances are you'll survive it. So in order to protect the tiny babies, we're actually best off to vaccinate the mothers. The mothers will build up the antibodies, which will be carried across to their babies and will protect their babies for the first few months of life. Healthcare providers are people too, and the same message, the same hesitancy can sometimes be a problem for a healthcare provider, and it's that same message. This is safe and sound advice that you really should be giving to your patient because it's in their best interest.